The Princeton University Common App Essays. Let's talk about them. So Princeton, being an Ivy League university, is the fourth oldest institution of higher learning in the United States. As a result of its renowned pedigree, Princeton's acceptance rate has hovered around 5% in recent years, which is among the lowest in the country. This means that using the university's supplement to stand out among the competition is vital. The Princeton supplement includes 3 essays and 3 short answers, so there were plenty of opportunities to do so. Now, before we hop into the prompts, let's look at Princeton's core values. These include courage, collaboration, creativity, community, globalism, humanity, independence, and inclusivity. At the same time, Princeton is committed to environmental sustainability and an inclusive, non-judgmental professional environment. Hence, when selecting stories or ideas for these prompts, it may be worth checking whether you cover Princeton's core values between the combination of the Common App personal statement and the supplement. You don't need to embody all values in one essay, but you should touch on most, if not all, values in the group of essays you submit so that the admins can see you're a well-rounded student. Also note that Princeton requires you to submit a graded written paper as part of your application, so the aforementioned points on values apply here. So the first prompt we're discussing requires the longest answer, 500 words, which is almost as long as the Common App personal statement. That means you could fit plenty of details in this essay. This is a kind of diversity or experience or community essay. The essence really boils down to reflecting on your unique experiences. When reflecting on what you gained from those experiences, you must consider how that will equip you to enrich Princeton. What lessons have you learned that will allow you to contribute to the university? Say you've had a religious upbringing. You could mention how faith has guided your conduct by telling a story. How have your beliefs changed as you've grown up? Who has been a mentor figure in developing this aspect of your identity? Have you ever called into question your faith or doubted it? And if so, why? Conflict is what really gives a story its power. It allows the readers to really see what you're made of. So, if you have a chance to discuss such examples here, that would be huge in showing how you've changed. But change doesn't just happen because of the environment around us. We must also choose to change. That is, we must take action. It is important for you to showcase how the lessons you discuss above have motivated you into action, whereby you may have had a chance to serve your community. To do so in an authentic way, it's important to highlight a lesson specific to your experience and detail the unique circumstances in which it arose. In our faith example, that means we're not going to be talking about cliché lessons everyone's heard about, like how it's important for different faiths to coexist. Rather, think in terms of nuance. Maybe a lesson you've learned pertains to the idea that your faith, despite being constant, has manifested in different ways as you've matured. That is, by undertaking different responsibilities, maybe as the organizer of an extracurricular group, maybe as a brother, sister, or cousin, you've learned that your service to faith requires different actions from you. For example, there could be a conflict where faith suggests you behave one way in a community group and in another way in a family capacity. Great, that could be a really interesting lesson. Now, connect that to action. How has this understanding of nuance impacted you in other areas of life? Perhaps it taught you to take a more tailored approach during interactions in a volunteer organization. Or maybe it taught you empathy that you apply in classroom discussions. Whatever the actions you've taken may be, you're going to mention opportunities at Princeton for impact in similar capacities. In other words, how will you share your values at university? Are you going to explore more into divinity academically? Or are you going to join some clubs to further your action? Spend some time on the school website to get to know the opportunities Princeton offers, so you'll have a lot of content to mention here. Now, the next prompt fortunately requires a much shorter essay of only 250 words. It kind of meets the mold of an extracurricular essay. Your activity list is a great place to start here, especially experiences in which you've acted as a leader. National Honor Society, tutoring classmates, helping a food bank, all of these are great examples. What if you feel you don't have any great examples of civic engagement on your activity list? Well, think about in life. Your acts of service could involve smaller efforts, like in your neighborhood, or it could involve your town. Have you ever seen potholes or trash on the road? Have you ever done anything about it? Even a simple email to the city council or trash collection are good examples of service here. In any case, take us through the story of how your engagement developed. That is, how your role and responsibilities may have changed. If we explored the NHS example earlier, this can involve you beginning the essay receiving mentorship from other members, before detailing your growth in the organization, whereby you pass mentorship on as a leader. Just remember, you already have a personal statement in a 500-word essay that could cover similar topics already. So, explore opportunities that have not yet been mentioned. Now, we hit a fork in the road. We have a 250-word essay, but the prompt depends on whether you're applying to engineering. Regardless, the essence is the same. You have a why major essay with why school elements. This means discussing your academic interest and connecting it to what you hope to explore at Princeton. When discussing your major, like say biology, talk about how you've explored your interest inside and outside the classroom. That can involve labs, AP courses, museums, personal projects, and just about anything that has allowed you to apply concepts from the subject. If you haven't decided on your major, or even if you have and just wish to delve deeper, here are some questions to consider. What bothers you? What questions do you want to find answers to? What difference do you hope to make in the world? How have you moved toward that? Have you read books or articles in the area? Carried out experiments? This essay is essentially a 2-act scene. First, we explore your major through the aforementioned questions, and that brings us to an impasse. You seek to learn more. That's where Princeton comes in. Spend some time browsing Princeton's website, or search on their social media. See if there are any courses or programs related to your interests that could help you solve those questions. What about professors? They are fantastic resources as well. Just make sure it's vital that the AdComs understand why you find answers to the questions in your major, both for yourself and for the greater good. The next 3 prompts are rather short, only 50 words apiece. As a result, they can be fun, less serious than what you discuss elsewhere. Most importantly, you should use them to tell something about you that the AdComs wouldn't see otherwise. For example, this is the perfect chance to talk about your love of photography or passion for baking. You may even have a chance to tie in your intellectual curiosity, like you wondering why your pastries have always turned out poorly in the oven. Give some context into why you selected those items to share, so admissions can really see what makes you tick. And that's it. Ultimately, with these essays, you want to demonstrate that you embodied most, if not all 8, of Princeton's core values. Remember, your essays, together, should paint you as a living, well-rounded person with many sides. This way, admissions can get a better idea of what kind of person you are. In addition, make sure to showcase how you've spent time thinking about your interests and your future. The same applies to your rationale for why Princeton. But I'm curious, why are you interested in Princeton? Which programs are you looking at? I'd love to find out, so let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this content, then please leave a like and subscribe so you stay up to date with all the admissions content I have coming out. Until then, thanks for watching, and you got this.